Hi friends, myself Professor Baliyan will teach you today how to prepare history and culture for IS examination, that is for prelims examination as well as for the mains examination. Friends, history and culture is a very important component for GS papers, both in PT as well as in main exams. If you look at prelims, out of total 200 marks, this constitutes around 50 marks. Means the percentage wise is about 25% of total prelims marks. As you know, nowadays only GS paper 1 marks will be counted for merit list. It means whether you go for the mains examination or not, your success will depend only on the marks of GS paper 1. It means 25% of your chances of success will depend on your performance in your history and culture component. The moment you master it, it means you are sure that 25% battle is won. In reality, it's not just 25%, because you have to score something around 65% to get a call for main examination. It means this is almost more than 1/3. You can say 40%. 40% battle you win the moment you master history and culture. In this video, I'll explain you what is history and culture and how can you prepare it easily with the help of online classes, books and other materials. Friends, history and culture constitutes the history of India from ancient times till present. That's what UPSC says. It means we have to have a look at the dimensions of ancient age, important dimensions of medieval period, and primarily on the history of modern India we have to focus. Out of ancient and medieval, the focus is more on cultural aspects, not on political history as such. We have to focus on cultural dimensions, that is our art and culture. In modern India, we have to focus on Indian national movement. We have to focus on governor generals, that is British governor generals. We have to focus on post independence. These are the important issues. If you look at the overall dimensions for the main examination as well as for prelims exam, we find that last year, out of the 25 questions that were asked from history and culture, around 14 were from art culture section, and the remaining around 11 were from history specifically. Combined together, we see history and culture as one topic, one segment of your syllabus. For prelims exam, we will have some questions. Let's say out of the questions around 11 that we asked last time, around 2-3 questions from ancient, around 2-3 questions from medieval, and the remaining questions are from modern Indian history. It means when you start preparing, you have to focus more onto modern India Of course, you have to prepare ancient and medieval as well, but you should not worry too much about these two dimensions because relatively modern India is much more important than your ancient and medieval. Of course, we cannot afford to neglect any of these. When you look at art and culture comprises, if you see what is art, the definition of art itself will give you the idea. Art can be defined as an expression of creativity. So anywhere where you have the expression of creativity, we can put that particular component in the segment of art. For example, a person can express his creativity in the form of architecture. Architecture means designing of buildings, the way buildings are ornamented or decorated. So all those works can reveal the creativity of an individual. So architecture is an important component. After architecture, a person could express his creativity in the form of sculpture, that is making images. Then music, then dance, puppetry, then the creativity could also be expressed in the form of coins, seals, pottery. If you look at architecture further, then we can see architecture comprises palaces, forts, temples, caves, stupas, pillars. If we get to medieval age, tombs, mosques are extra stuff here, and public buildings, because most of the modern architecture is in the form of public buildings, say railway stations, museums, government houses, university houses, courts. All these are the important components of architecture. Means when you look at architecture, you have to study these dimensions. When you look at art, you have to study all these dimensions in detail. When you look at culture, if it's the definition of culture, culture can be defined as something we inherit from our forefathers, from our parents. So something that we inherit from our parents is our culture. Culture, simple language, we can see. Culture is what we are, our way of life. The culture can be recorded as religion, social institutions and practices, literature, in the form of our customs, fairs and festivals. These are the important components of our culture. Means when you look for the culture, you don't have to worry about what should I prepare. Immediately have a look at components and start preparing them one by one. And then if you see the questions that are being asked in ICE examination, in prelims or in the mains examination, you'll find questions will be coming from religion or from social institutions or from literature, customs, fairs, festivals. You'll find direct questions in PT as well as mains every year. Same way here, you'll find every year 2 or 3 questions coming from architecture. 1 or 2 questions coming from sculpture, music, dance, coins, seals, puppetry are also very important segments. So you have to prepare them one by one from beginning to the end. Now watch this stuff that you should prepare. How can you prepare them? Whenever you start preparing for civil service examination, your process starts with NCERT. We say NCERT are the Bibles for civil service examination. NCERTs constitute the first step. So you should have The books on history culture from NCERT. There is no separate book for art culture as such. So they have books for history, and these history books you have to read from class 6 to class 12th. The moment you go through these books, at times there is a confusion whether we should read new books or old books. Old books are better in content, so you should go for old books. The new books are more of the decorations. This stuff is less. Old NCERT books you should have with you. Go for them. Once you go through old books, you may have a look at new books as well, but there is no need as such, because old books will have everything, almost everything what new books contain. So NCERT is the first level. History is generally regarded as a very static subject, but cultural components are quite dynamic. So you have to have a look at current developments. Every time some excavations, some researches, some kind of findings have taken place in the last 1 year or last few years, you have to include in your syllabus, in your subject matter that you have to study. Third part, if you go higher, you can have a look at Gazetteer of India. The government of India publishes Gazetteer of India. Gazetteer of India is in many volumes. Volume number 3 deals with history and culture, so that will give you a good idea what is history culture. Beyond that comes this Prof for specialized preparation. So we at the Foresight Academy will take you through each and every component of art culture and your history from beginning to the end, so that you can have a good command for your mains as well as for prelims examination. Whenever we prepare, every time look at what UPSC asked. Don't go for generalized preparation. You should have at the back of your mind what kind of possible questions are there. If you read a topic, that's this architecture, then what kind of questions UPSC has asked, what are the other possible questions. UPSC most probably won't repeat last year questions, but if you have a framework, if you can develop understanding of what kind of questions UPSC asks, there's always a pattern. Your job, my responsibility here is to take you through that pattern, identify the pattern, then only we can anticipate what kind of questions are going to come and how can we write good answers for that. I hope this video will help you up in your preparation for IAS examination. Your IAS is not just a career, it's a dream, it's a mission. And if you are one of those people, those who are guided by this mission, those who are moved by this mission, then we are here to help you in every way what you need. All the best. Thank you.